Hello everyone and welcome. This is channel update number 11. I'm Enigmaeus and today, channel related news. Not going to take a long time. What you're seeing right now is me muddling through the very early learning curve for space engineers, which is going to be our new headline feature series that we're going to be starting up very, very soon, within the next day or two. I want to get through some more tutorials. I want to give myself a little bit of time to mess around with a brand new save and just kind of make sure that everything is sort of working together before we start recording. But once we've got that squared away, this will be the one that we'll be looking at as sort of our main kind of focus. And the reason being, we just wrapped up our Enslaved series. It wasn't a very long series. I think it maxed out at 26 episodes from the very beginning to the very end. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the game. I enjoyed making the series. That kind of video is a little bit easier to make than some of the more guide slash instructional slash creative sort of videos that we do with certain kinds of games, but still good. And what I realized, what I really wanted to get back into was a game where I can build stuff and be creative and kind of get into the nitty gritty of some technical details if I want to, or just go off and do something absolutely silly if I want to. And in looking into it, and this was actually recommended to me at least a couple of times by different viewers suggesting that I give it a go, I took a look at it, and what I found is that it's kind of like a cross between modded Minecraft, like I used to do, and Robocraft, like I used to do, in the sense that you can create vehicles with weapons and fly them around and do all kinds of crazy stuff. There is a multiplayer element to the game, but as you know, if you've been following me for any length of time, I don't invest a lot of time in the multiplayer because I don't have a lot of time to coordinate with people to get things done. When I want to make a video, I just want to make it now, and I don't want to have to wait around for people to be available. So that's the primary reason why, is just waiting around on people in multiplayer games drives me absolutely bonkers. So I tend to focus on the single player aspect of things, but there's still so much that we can do and so much that we can take a look at that it should keep us going for quite some time. We can do the creative builds, we can do the technical stuff, we can do the vehicles, we can do structural things that are designed for a purpose, and structural things that are just designed to look silly. Whatever it takes, whatever floats my boat for a particular episode, that's what we're going to get. That'll be Space Engineers. Lots and lots to do. They just added the new planet option, so you can go down to planets now and build bases and have shipyards and do all kinds of crazy things down on the surface of the planet. There are some NPCs that you can fight against. It's an early access game. That's the crazy thing. It's early access. It's been in the early access program on Steam for about 2 years now. Some people see that and they think, that's way too long. Other people see it and understand that 3 to 5 years is kind of the development window for a lot of games these days. It's very, very common. Anywhere between 3 to 5 years to develop a game. So they're only at 2, and you assume maybe they had a year beforehand to get something ready to the very basics, the proof of concept that they would have originally had to have to get it into the early access program on Steam. That still leaves them 2 whole years to do what they want to do with it before people have reason to step back and say, why is it taking so long? Is something wrong? No, it's just early access, dude, and it takes a while to make games like this. So we're going to have to roll with some punches. The optimization, the performance down on the planet level is pretty sketchy right now. People with even good computers are reporting they have to have things scaled down to get even, mediocre results out of the game. Early access. I'm not going to make excuses for the developers, but at the same time, we don't need to look for excuses to be negative and cranky about it. It's the kind of thing, they just literally released the planetary thing like a week ago. Going to take some time to optimize it, get it squared away. So anything that we do on a planet level, the performance isn't going to be where I would normally like it to be for recording. Anything that we do in space will be absolutely fine. So we're just going to do what we can with that, and if I have to spend a little while in space just doing that before I go down to the planets while we wait for some optimization, and that's a worst case scenario, then that's what we'll do. That's the thing. So EdenStar is the next best thing. I guess that's not fair. That's not really a nice way to say it, but the only issue with EdenStar right now is that we start a new world when a new major patch comes out, and then we go as far as we can go before things start to get into the repetitious go gather things, build things, go gather things, build more things, go gather things, upgrade things. If it becomes repetitious, People are going to get tired of the series, and more importantly, as far as the future of the series goes, I'm going to get tired of the game. It's just the way it is. It's early access. They just released the multiplayer fork, so if you've bought the game, you have the option, you can just play the game as it was in the last episode that we showed you, that exact same version, or you can get the multiplayer fork and you can help them test the multiplayer side of things. And again, as I mentioned earlier, me and multiplayer, not high on my list of priorities, but it's there. That's kind of the big thing that they've been working on lately, is getting that up and running. They've also got some other things that will be available, whether you're playing multiplayer or single player. A massive new map relative to the one that we've got, a lot more diverse, a lot more areas that you can explore, and all kinds of things where they can add in stuff and really make kind of this massive game that could be one of those things where it takes you hours and hours and hours just to learn where everything is. And then finally, you can start exploiting things and being a know-it-all, you know, capitalizing on every opportunity to be a jerk with a sniper rifle in a tower. That could be me. But the downside, of course, is that it could be weeks or even, you know, a handful of months between updates. If that's what it takes, then that's what it takes. Rather than putting all my eggs in the EdenStar basket, I'm just going to give them time to do what they need to do. We'll work on some stuff that can keep us busy in between, and when there's a new major update that gives us something new to look at, then we'll take the time, we'll make the episodes, we'll look at those new things and the other things that we can do, and the sniper rifle and the tower and all that other stuff. I'm happy with the way it's going. The developers are doing an excellent job of communicating with the community, keeping us abreast of what they're working on, you know, what they're prioritizing, all these different things. So, like I say, we're just going to let them do what they need to do, and that'll be, I think, the best for everyone. And that brings us to Terraria, which is a whole other ball of wax. The short version is that it's kind of a controversial series. People resent a little bit that I started off doing all these expert mode bosses with endgame gear. I don't really care, to be completely honest. I knew going in that people would complain about it, and they did. But overall, the response has been at worst neutral. At best, people are kind of interested. I mean, it's something different. There's a little bit of room for creativity. But as Terraria goes, until the next update, there's only so many things that you have to work with in terms of wiring and traps and things like that that you can use to kill bosses. So we're going to finish it. We're going to do Plantera, which is taking a very long time. That's why there hasn't been an episode in the last week or two, is it's just getting something set up that will actually do the trick is taking a long time. And I'm not going to go into any details. We're going to go into the details, what the barriers were when I do the video itself. But suffice it to say, I haven't put it off. I haven't been spending less time trying to get it working. It's just been taking a really long time to come up with something that's going to beat Plantera that I can show you guys that's a little bit more interesting than just standing there spamming it with the Terrarian. And that's kind of the goal now, is getting that done. We're going to get through Plantera, then we're going to do Golem. I've already got an idea that I'm hoping will work. You never know with these things. For a very simple, interesting, and effective arena that will basically, it'll be different. It will be its main selling point, probably something that hasn't been done before. Or it might not work at all, and I'll be back to making a big square with spears in it again, because that seems to be the only thing you can count on. Whatever the case, if you've been looking for the next Terraria episode, all I can say is, like I say, I'm not slowing down in terms of how much time I'm investing, but the next video will be out when I have Plantera dead via some sort of combination of arena and or gear wizardry that we can get the thing dead with. That's what it boils down to. I just wanted to keep you guys updated because Terraria has been slow to come out. EdenStar, there's going to be a delay that will last as long as it takes until the developers get the next major update out, and we're going to jump right back into that when they do. And then in the place of all these other things that we've been doing, we're going to get into the space engineers, starting from the beginning, not the very beginning of the learning curve, but not very far along it either. There's going to be lots of learning for me to do. People are going to be cranky when they see that I don't have all the answers in the very first episode, and that's fine. They can be cranky. But realistically speaking, based on what I've done in Minecraft, what I've done in Robocraft, I think it'll be ultimately a series. If you've liked those other things that I've done, you'll like this one too. If you have any comments or suggestions, I can't really take too many suggestions with regards to other games to play, because I'm in the process of building a new gaming rig. So my gaming budget is limited. I'm going to be keeping an eye out on what's going on Steam over the holiday. If there's something there that you see and you want to pass that along, by all means feel free to do so. There's no guarantee I'll take it on, but I'll at least read your comment and take a look at it. Otherwise, leave any other comments and feedback that you have in the appropriate section below the video, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, guys, and take care.